That's a breakfast. Green tea, coffee. Nice. Alrighty then. Morning. Well, hovering right around afternoon. We are back at it. Today is October 8th, 9th. As you saw, we had breakfast at the Hotel Rapids. They had complimentary crepes, which were pretty astounding.
They weren't bad.
They weren't like the classic crepes that you think of in the sense of like just sugar. It actually had like chicken, bacon, cheddar cheese.
People are familiar with filled crepes, baby.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah, filled crepes are a thing.
Oh, and like the manager there or the owner, like she was doing everything. She was running the kitchen. She was running the front desk. She was speaking sign language to people. Answering the phone. Pretty badass. So just getting the tracker set to go. We found the big little finger, so that's nice that they didn't take that away. That would have been upsetting if they did. Baby, can you tell me if the tracker has sent a ping?
Yes. So we're hiking from town back into town again today.
Yes.
Being lazy. Yes, we've sent a ping.
We sent a ping, so we go places. So the little steps are connected. As you see, we're in our rain jackets because it's misty. That was my nickname in high school.
Misty?
Mister.
Okay.
Baby, do you think that's how they got the word mister?
No.
Like M-I-S-T-E-R?
No, it's from Latin.
Oh. They call misters because...
No, that's not how it came out.
Oh. Okay. So, what we're going to do today is we were going to zero today. The brain started trying to rationalize a zero because this mist that's condensing into water is going to be rain and thunderstorms pretty hard later tonight into tomorrow morning. I think the heavy thunderstorms end at like 9 to 10 a.m. So we wanted to stay at the hotel that we got off to yesterday, but they were all booked up. So we kind of scrambled a little bit after our nice crate meal, and we found another one called the Itasca Motel. That is at Itasca? Oh. That is actually down the road a little bit and is like 0.1, 0.2 off a trail, maybe 0.3. But it lets us get these miles in, and then tomorrow, as we wait out the storms in the morning at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m., then we just are able to walk straight back to trail instead of having to take the taxi service back to connect our steps. So as we got here, we were saying the trail gives you what you need, not what you want. We wanted to take a zero, but...
I wanted to finish this damn thing.
Huh?
I just want to finish this thing.
Yeah, Magpie wants to finish it. You also were okay with taking a zero.
Tragically.
Okay, yeah. But instead of zeroing, we're going to end up doing anywhere from 10 to 12 miles. So it makes it better in a lot of ways. We won't have to coordinate a taxi tomorrow. We just walk right back to trail. We keep forward momentum, even if it's not much miles. It's enough. And yeah, it works out. So yeah, 11:30. We'll probably be back into town by 3 o'clock, the latest, depending how many miles it actually turns out to be. So we're walking places, and we're kind of walking wet places. Baby, my nickname in high school was definitely Mister. Okay. She said, okay. This is going to get some serious thunder and lightning later today. Oh, joy. Joy. I agree. A red lake. You know that's a... Oh, look at the beaver mark. A red lake. You know that's a good no filter, no problem type scenario right there. Ooh, baby. Maybe that's why my body doesn't like me sometimes, because the no filter sitches. I don't know. I think it's more so, it's just getting fed up with how many miles I'm trying to push it down. Yeah, I think hiking wise, I'd have to do the math on the actual hiking days. So I started trails this year back in February 1st. And by the time we finish, most likely we're going to finish end of October, November 1st-ish, which is 9 months. But out of those 9 months, only spent about 8 of those months on trail. So 7,000 miles in about 8 months. It was close to a month in there that Magpie and I quarantined in Vermont. Not a month, it was like 15 days, I think. But then adding to that travel days between trail systems. I don't know, that would be a cool statistic to find out. I would say the days spent walking, 8 months-ish, excluding zeros. Including zeros. If you excluded zeros, I would say it would be like 7 months. Yeah, that would be a cool statistic to find out. 7,000 miles and 7 months of actual hiking days. Pretty aggressive. And I think my body's starting to take the toll with it. But we keep going. Nothing to do but finish this. Don't stop, get it, go, 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 go. Knowing that we don't have to crush McDiddley miles today is really nice. Like, we have, as I said, anywhere from 10 to 12 miles to do. We've already done 4, so we're already sub 10 miles, and we've been only hiking for about an hour. I don't know, it gives the mentality of lightness. We've been punishing ourselves lately. These were finishing up later and later in the season. But I don't know, sometimes I think you have to have these days. It gives you such a lightness to your step and to the stride. And yeah, we've had more days on this trail than either one of us thought. But again, you wonder sometimes if it works out the way it needs to. If it gets you as far as you get because of giving yourself what you need. I don't know. This is a long. NCT is a long trail. Mentality has ebbed and flowed. The physicality has, I describe it in detail, I think, on one of my Scoutmaster logs on the Patreon channel. But the physicality has hit peaks and troughs like unlike anything I've ever known. I really don't think the body's getting quote unquote stronger anymore. I really think where it was more of a roller coaster on a through hike where you get strong and then you drop down as you your body breaks down a little bit, then it gets stronger again. I think for a 2,000 to 3,000 mile trail, so anything from the AT, PCT, CDT, Appalachian Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, Continental Divide Trail, when you finish, you're strong, but you're also ready to be done and your body's ready to be done. You push out another 2,000 or so to what this lane's going to be, about 4,800. I think it's going to be like 4,850 or something. That last 2,000, your body's on the downward slope. I personally don't feel like my body's getting stronger. I feel like more fragile each day, and that it's really wearing away a little bit. But I don't know, maybe I'm just weak. Who knows? I don't know. I think it's a curious study to have. I wish I would have gotten my body measurements before this hiking season, and kind of did like a full lab work on all my ins and outs and all of my functionings of my organs, my muscles. I don't know. I thought that would have been a really cool experiment to see. That started off of a ramble of it just feels good to not have to crush McDiddley miles today. It's not so much, we enjoy crushing miles, but just knowing that we have like so, I don't know. I don't know how to describe the mentality after you do hard miles all the time, knowing you just have a cruisy day. I don't know. It's lightening. That's the best way I can describe it. It feels light in the body and light in the mind. All right, sorry folks. We are in the BBT territory. Wait. Yes, we are in the BBT territory. If you look that way, baby, do you care to guess what the BBT territory stands for?
I honestly don't.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Do you care to guess?
No, I don't know.
BBT stands for Blue Balls Trail. You're in the BBT territory because you don't actually hike the entirety of the Mesabi Trail. The North Country Trail cuts off right after mile marker 3, the 3-mile marker post. This is the first blue blaze we have actually seen in, since, since we've left the Superior Hiking Trail. Been a while, been at least 200 miles. So, yep, unfortunately, you get BBT'd out on the Mesabi Trail. But if you're doing a North Country Trail through hike, this is where you turn, right at mile marker signpost 3. I'm surprised baby did not get the BBT reference, because it is a very common reference used all throughout the hiking community.
That's not true. He just made it up.
Huh?
It's not true. He just made it up.
Wait. You're saying it's not a common reference?
No.
Huh. That's curious.
BVT typically stands for basal body temperature.
Bagel body temperature. Are you putting the thermostat inside of a bagel?
No, basal. B-A-S-A-L.
Oh, I thought you said bagel body temperature.
It's like an ovulation tracking indicator.
Okay. We didn't. Oh, okay. I like bagel body temperature better.
Yeah, I mean, you could take the temperature of a bagel.
You could.
You could.
You stick.
I want baked goods now.
You stick the thermometer inside the bagel.
Yep.
All right, we're on the North Country Trail. North Country. I haven't said that in a while. North Country. Blue blaze. You sure? It's in a tree. Huh. Okay, baby. Ah, blue blazes. Feels good. Feels right. All right, a few miles outside of Grand Rapids. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Really nice level plateau above the river. I don't know what I could possibly be saying with that wink, wink, nudge, nudge, but it is in fact a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. If you want to get close to Grand Rapids and then do a very small Nero into there. Really nice plateau over the river. Look for the big rock. Look for the big rock.
This is a mine tailing pile, though.
Come on with your bad self, Trail.
I feel like this has got to be paid for by the mining company whose land we're on.
I don't know.
The mining company is probably doing some public relations stuff, being like, we created like 4 miles of trails.
It really kind of amazed me that they actually put in single track trail right before town, especially when we've been following the Mesabi for so long.
I bet it's the mining company's PR people.
Or maybe they just really, really wanted to give us BBT. It hurts, folks. It hurts. Once again, we find ourselves upon the trail where there's a direct sign that says, no magpies allowed. But yet, she walks by the sign.
I'm not a centaur.
Without any regard to what will happen. We find that no alarms have gone off yet in the woods. We saw the no magpie sign, but yet it seems for now we're safe. For now, we gallop across the plains as we walk and gallop and walk and ponder a little bit and wander a little bit and ponder. Just like the babbling brook, we babble and bobble and bobble and babble. And then we look upon the trees. And just like the trees, as they whisper into Magpie's ear, as she increases her podcast volume to tune out the Scottish guy behind her. And as the Scottish guy increases his volume to get past the podcast volume, we still seem to not have gotten yet through her earbuds. But we will always continue the journey ahead, as we always try to whisper loudly, softly, quietly, caressly, into the ears of the wild magpie. The journey, for now, will be between us and the woods and the rocks and the pine straw and the sky and the roots. And there might be one or two mice involved that I really want to go into the mice voice. But alas, magpie will kill me if I go from Scottish to Mickey. Mickey Scottish? That's a little bit of good, eh? Oh, that's a little bit of a different accent, eh? Magpie, she seems to be far enough ahead that she's very good at ignoring, or she's just very good at tuning out, or her volume is high enough. It's one of the three, my folks. And as we walk upon the boardwalk, we wonder, is the board beneath our feet creaking at our weight? Is our weight limit light enough, or is it too heavy? As we walk across the marshlands, we hear the babbling brook. There she is. And we look at the magpie as she looks behind us, because it seems the voice has, in fact, gotten in between that little tiny space between her ear holes and her podcast holes. The ear holes and the podcast holes, there's that little teeny tiny space where the whisper of the pines finds its way in and tucks its way into that little tiny space as it wraps up around the warm fire, which is her eardrum. And then it beats the drum as it goes boom, 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 pow, 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 boom. Oh yeah. And as we walk, we hear the rustle of the leaves. Or is it us hearing the rustle of the leaves, or is it the leaves hearing the rustles of us? That is a question that we will always wander and ponder. As we ponder and wander
I was wondering when we were going to get back to wandering and pondering.
across the great prairie lands of the Northwest, the Midwest,
Northwest, babe. This is the Midwest.
the Mid-Northwest. There's so many terms for so many chunks of land that how many times can you say mid, north, south, west, east? It's the Mid-Northwest that we wander across now. It's not
No, it's the North Midwest.
It's not fully north. It's not fully west. So have we found ourselves once again in a land of magic, a land of middle ground, like the hobbits that are upon the little hobbit tree in the Lord of the Rings. We found ourselves in Middle Earth, the Midwest, little hole. And as the hobbits beat their drums against a little ear canal, little eardrum of warmth and happiness, we hear the boom boom pow and the pow pow boom.
Okay.
And as we hear the okay, it seems that the magpie, the wild magpie, has in fact heard the voice. And
I
as,
heard your voice.
and as the voice gets more hoarse, because it hurts
I've definitely heard your voice.
the narrator's voice, we go down back to our whisper. And as we whisper, we get more accented with the Scottish, because when we whisper, the Scottish really comes out. And as we ponder and wander, and ponder and wander, we can't help but wander more and ponder more. Oh, and we almost lost the phone. And then we pop out into the broad sky, where the open prairies once again grace us with their presence. There's some mythical organization that dates back to the good old days, the good old times, way back when the world was just a babe, all swaddled in its little golden fleece, and its magical little golden fleece. And Magpie's pace has quickened, so she goes faster and quicker, so she doesn't have to hear the voice. But back in the day, when there was nothing along the world besides little lava rocks and little lava monsters, back in the 1800s, where there was not a peep in the woods besides the little Scottish fairies in the little Scottish trees that did little Scottish elvish things. And I do not know where I go with this metaphor, but it seems we have found ourselves in the metaphor nonetheless. All right, disclaimer. I know that back in the 1800s there was, in fact, civilization. I had to put that in there. I think sometimes people question if I actually know things. Sometimes I question that as well. But I do actually know that back in the 1800s there was stuff that was happening. And there wasn't just, they just got the shelves in the trees. Oh, my voice hurts. The NCT goes through a soccer field. That's pretty fun. If you catch it on a certain day, I bet you're doing a through hike while walking by a soccer game. That's pretty, Blue Blaze, that's pretty fun. All right, so 2 o'clock and we have hit the porta potties. Don't know what that actually means, but there are porta potties at the soccer field if you need a quick release. And now we're kind of hovering right around the outskirts of Grand Rapids. And I think it's mostly sidewalk, if not road walk the rest of the way. I think it's just all sidewalk. So we should have anywhere from 2 to 3 miles left to where we jump off trail for the day and wait out these storms. So, cool. Alright, so once you get into the sprawl of Grand Rapids, there's no blazes again, but I'm assuming you just follow the Get Fit Ithaca trail marks.
Taco Bell.
I know, I see the Taco Bell. That Taco Bell is where we stayed next to last night. It's a small world. So, yeah, I don't know what the Blue Blaze game is about in Minnesota, why the towns haven't had any blazes. That last little chunk of single track trail that we had like a mile or 2 in, maybe 3 miles, was really well blazed. But for some reason, maybe the towns don't allow the blazes. I honestly don't know. That's something that I'd be curious to figure out. But as Magpie said, as you see over her right shoulder, there's that T-Bell that we just demolished food from last night. And the Hotel Rapids, where we stayed, was right next to it. I'm glad we actually didn't zero there today, get some more miles in, and still be able to beat the storms. So we're getting close. We're getting close to where we need to be. It's starting to drizzle on us. There's supposed to be a thunderstorm at 3 o'clock, so we might be able to avoid it narrowly. We'll see. Yep. Such a small world. This is where we were yesterday. The trail brings you right by it. That spot right there is where we stayed. Such a small world. But the trail goes this way. That person came out of the liquor store too. Oh yeah, so some information that we found out the other day from the cab driver that brought us into town is Grand Rapids is in fact the capital of DWIs in Minnesota.
Yep.
In fact, the capital.
More than Minneapolis.
More than Minneapolis.
More than St. Paul.
Yep.
Grand Rapids.
And the way he described it, he had like these one-liners that just cracked me the hell up. He's like, yeah, my cousin or my brother-in-law has 6 under his belt. I'm like, 6? And like the way you describe that as 6 under the belt, like you keep collecting them. It's not funny. It's not something to laugh about. But his phraseology was pretty funny. The way he would talk about stuff. And he
was talking about like, yeah, first thing in the morning, liquor store opens at 8. I get people calling me to get a cab ride to the liquor store. Say like, oh man, if I didn't have 4 DWIs, I'd be driving myself here.
Yeah. The way he phrased stuff was hilarious. He's like, yeah, I grew up next to the Canadian border and I used to throw rocks across the pond and it was considered Yeah, attack on Canadian airspace. That was funny. We got the same cab driver this morning to connect us back, connect our steps up. And he was talking about last night how the ceiling of, it's not, again, not funny, but the way he describes it, the ceiling of his apartment building fell on his head last night. Like, not the full roof, of course he would be dead, but like the drywall. And how his landlord was just a shisty dude. And what did he say about chunky peanut butter?
I don't remember. Oh, he says like, oh, I hope the rest of the day goes smoothly. He goes, yep, smooth as crunchy peanut butter.
Oh yeah, smooth as crunchy peanut butter. Like, he was the type of Minnesota guy that you picture that has the outwardly, like, just awesome one-liners. That was fun.
Grumpy but hilarious.
Yeah, grumpy but hilarious. I think this is our first sighting of the Mississippi River. So our terminus of this trail system, if we follow this river to its headwaters, that's where it is.
I thought it was the headwaters of the Missouri.
Ooh, you are probably right. I thought it was the headwaters of... Okay, it might be headwaters of Missouri. Lake Sakakawai. So... So...
Yeah, we're going to the headwaters of the Missouri.
Oh. Why is that the headwaters if it starts all the way over there?
Because it has a bunch of little tributaries.
Rude.
Yeah.
Alright. Pretty cool. Mississippi. Oh, whew. Don't know how to spell Mississippi, y'all. That's what we just figured out. Alright, so we are coming up to the junction of Pokagame. So like Pokemon games, quite like the wandering Pokemon of the plains.
Probably named after somebody important.
We're Pokagaming our way down.
Kokagama.
Okay. So this is where we're going to connect our little feet steps tomorrow. The trail continues across. We're going down that way. Baby, can I ask you to film the tracker?
Yes.
This is already filming.
Yep.
We did somewhere between 10 or 11. Can you see it?
I got it.
Stop the tracking.
You want me to keep going?
Yeah. All right. And we go. The rain's just starting to come down now, as you can see. So, 0.2 to the motel. Hopefully we can beat the worst of it. It's a red light. Let's go. Let's go, baby. All right, 0.2. 0.2 to the Modi Hody. Let's get it. Woo, baby. You know she fine. You know you're in a fine spot when you're right across from the tobacco den. All right, so this is where we do our... 1 second. There's the camera lens is a little... No, I think it's just the darkness of the room. I tried to open the... Oh, this is riveting. I tried to open the blinds, but this is where we do our Hail Marys, Mother of Grace. It feels very like we were in a convent.
What? Are you trying to say?
Like, it feels like it would be apt if there was a little Jesus on the wall over the bed right now, is what I'm trying to say.
We're like in a place where nuns live?
Yeah.
That's a convent.
Yes. So this is where we are going to do our Hail Mothers, Mother of Grace.
Okay, you don't know how to say Hail Mary, do you?
Hail Mary.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm just pointing out that you could probably offend people.
Well, I'm going to try. Hail Mary.
I don't know.
Mother of Grace. Hallowed be thy name.
Nope.
In
that's
kingdom
the
come.
Lord's Prayer.
Let me come.
Going into now. No, now you're just offending people.
That's definitely what it is.
Now you're just being rude.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the spot. Super nice lady. I would recommend this spot over the Hotel Rapids. We're just on a big hotel tour. Hotel Rapids is definitely, quote unquote, nicer of a spot, but they're trying really hard. If you're wanting a cheap budget spot, this is the spot to be.
Especially if you're with a crew, because there's 2 bedrooms.
Yeah, if you're with a squad, look at this. You thought this was the end of it. This is where there should be a Jesus on the over the bed. I would have not been surprised if there was. It feels very... Spartan's not the word. Sparse is not the word. There's a word, but I can't find it.
Very plain.
No. It starts with an S. Wow, that blinded me. Okay. Again, this is all a hiker needs, though. I love that it's a full coffee pot. Yes. Hey, baby.
Hi.
Okay. We made it. We stayed dry-ish. All right. So, remember when we walked through Mountain Iron the other day? Our videos they're up to date as of 2021, like any hiking series is that we do. But I don't think for future people you're going to have to worry about no services being in Mountain Iron, because from the headlines of this newspaper, they're going to have to put at least a gas station in there, I'm assuming. I picked up a little paper, by the way. All right, so funny enough, we are not yet done the big resupplies. From Grand Rapids westbound, we are trying to make this resupply go all the way to Fergus Falls area, or maybe Vargas after that. But there's about a 200-mile chunk in there. We're going to carry for about 200 miles food. You can hitch off 2 towns, but we're just trying to finish this trail up, baby. So we didn't do that anyway. There was a lot of times in Michigan, especially the UP, we could have hitched out to towns, but we ended up just carrying 200 miles worth of food. Not 200 days. Whew. Because it makes us go faster. It's heavier in the beginning, but then we just crush McDiddley and don't have to detour off to any towns and get sucked into town gravity. So this is what my resupply looks like. I thought this would be a cool way to do it. I'll give you the spiel, like the boxing and then the unboxing. I thought that would be fun. So protein bars. I want to call these protein bars, but they're not. That's fun. They call them elevation bars. So we resupplied at Aldi, and they have just like these knockoff brands or generic, instead of Cliff Bars, elevation bars. I like it. More protein bars, fruit snacks. I wanted to get another box, but I'm glad I didn't. Flavor Blasties, some cream pies, because you know you gotta be about that life. Coffee cakes, 3 Idahoans for 3 dinners. 6 ramens for 3 dinners, because I like the double ramen life. Some cashews for some protein, and then the lunch is down here. Tortillas, Swiss cheese, a pound of hard salami. And then Magpie's resupply looks way less. She's gonna fluff it up, I think, with some other things. She's got.
I'm gonna go to Walgreens.
Yeah, she's got dinners, lunch, some Snickers, and then spatterings of protein bars. And then for town today, well, the rest of the day, it's like 4 o'clock. We got pumpkin bread because baby wanted me to be a pumpkin boy again.
I did not. You brought the pumpkin bread on your own?
You wanted me to be a pumpkin boy again?
No.
Sweat out pumpkin?
No.
Nashville hot. I hadn't seen a chicken flavored chip, but that sounded awesome. I'm going to dip these in that, which is going to be interesting. And then some garlic knots, because why not? Aldi has some interesting stuff, and we went down with it. Oh, and this. Green Goddess drink and cookies. That's the run of the roost. And I'm going to start packing up that resupply. Cool. I think I'll make it work. It's going to be heavy. 7 days? 6 to 7 days. I think the exact miles is like, it depends if we go to Fergus Falls or Vergas. So we're either going to do 210 miles or 220 to 230. Somewhere in there. Enough to be 6 or 7 days worth. So, cool.